Welcome to the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast, a racing show for the fans by a fan. Yep. It's been a while. It's been a while since I popped that one in there. And, if I was lazy, I'd get off my ass and edit it into the intro. But it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And, I didn't do nothing last week, dog. I didn't do no reels, nothing. So nobody watched YouTube. I will say this. I was going to give you kind of an update because we're like, this is the 8th episode, I believe. And, we had, I think, our highest level of listeners on Spotify, or at least to like the actual podcast, since we've been back. YouTube didn't do too great this week, so just my ugly face. But yeah, I don't know. Anyways, what you been up to this week?
Oh, just staying busy at work.
Psh, y'all ain't doing nothing.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's like you work at a car dealership at tax time. There ain't nothing going on over there.
Yeah.
$2,000. I bet every single trade-in's going back on the lot right about now, if I had to guess. Dude, I was looking on...
Getting them from the auction left and right, too.
I was looking on Marketplace, just because I'm always scrolling when I lay in bed. And last night, there was a 2004 Ford Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a silver one with 113,000 miles on it. And this boy was selling this from like a reputable dealership, I guess. But usually they would wholesale this crap, right? But they were trying to sell it cash on Facebook.
Yeah, I'm sure.
2,000 out the door. And I was like, oh my God, 2,000 out the door? Woo! I bet that is a piece.
Oh, yeah.
I bet they had to wash the oil off the drain pan. I mean, good God. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's a good time. Time change. It's still light in their garage. I got windows in here.
Yeah.
It's actually a little bit light. It's kind of weird.
It was weird going to work, and it's still a little dark this morning.
Oh, it's so nice. I hate going, I actually was noticing last week at work, I hate when it starts getting light early. I go to work in the dark every day, and when it's closed, it's not good. But when that alarm went off at 4:30 this morning, it felt like 3:30. I was like, no.
Yeah.
So I went in a little bit later than that. But yeah, I don't know. We'll get settled back into it. So, I wanted to tell you congratulations on that big dinner y'all had the other night. Did you at least get you any good food?
Oh, yeah. We got all kind of good stuff.
Did you get a steak?
Yeah, I did get a steak.
Fish?
It was probably the best steak I've ever had.
Well, it better be, because I'm sure it was the most expensive.
Oh,
one you
yeah,
ever
I'd
had,
hope
too.
so.
But that's not always true. But usually them nice places are. But congratulations on all that. Other than that, do you do any iRacing this week?
I did a little bit. It was the last week of the official season. We start week 13 here in about, well, I probably just switched over to week 13, but,
I was about to say,
the shenanigans come on.
Oh, yeah, it's the best time of the year. It's like you go into a street stock race and there's like 500 people registered. I love it.
Yeah.
Actually, sometimes it's my favorite because I can't drive because I don't race enough, so I can go in there and act like I know what I'm doing a little bit.
Yeah.
I tried dirt again for the first time in a while last week. Limiteds at, I sent you a snap. Was it Kokomo?
I think so, yeah.
I think. And, God, man, dirt is so much harder.
Dirt
is so much harder. I don't know if you listen to the download. This is just a good segue here. What I'm talking about. So, Junior was talking about dirt, and he was talking about I guess he tested somebody's super late model or something like that years ago, and he's like he's got to this by talking about how he held his breath for like an entire 50-lap iRock race in Michigan, and he's like, man, I don't know how them dirt guys do it. It is rough. He's like, it is way harder than asphalt. He's like, running 50 laps on dirt's harder than running 500 miles at Daytona.
Yeah.
And I was like, just preach, brother, preach.
Yeah.
He's like, I know why they only run 50-lap features, because you can't run more than that.
Yeah.
I was like, preach,
Bouncing
brother, preach.
Jerking
Just
up
like
and down
every
all the time.
every single spot. And then iRacing's gotten so realistic, it's the same way now. It's like the car just changes directions on you. So I'm out of practice, but that just means I'll go run some ARCA or something like that, Class D.
Speaking of
keep
ARCA,
my license. Oh,
you're going to have to get a new ARCA car this week. They got the new model coming out.
Will that be out in the middle of the week, or is that
I think it drops tomorrow.
Early week 13? Because a lot of times they do those and try to get everybody to run them
I believe you can get it tomorrow.
$13.99.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. Any bets on how many Cletus wraps per race?
Probably about
Percentage-wise?
5,000. We were talking about that on the weekend, and yeah, I 100% assume all week it's just going to be hosted races full of freaking Cletus cars everywhere.
I'm assuming, like, I have a couple of different questions about that. One, somebody probably as soon as they can get the template is going to be doing the full cleater pack on iRacing.
Oh yeah,
you could get Neighbor, Mullet, Ruby.
I'm sure.
You know, you want to get all of them on there best you can. So are those cars going to race pretty much like the Gen 6 Cup cars? Asking for a friend.
I'm not sure.
They look kind of like a Gen 6 Cup car.
Yeah, I've seen
They got more horsepower than a Gen 6 Cup car did at the end. So
I've seen a couple of videos of like some previews, but I haven't got my hands on it yet. So I'm definitely excited to see what it does.
I am too. I mean, I like ARCA. So are they getting rid of the old ARCA cars then? Is that how that works?
I think they'll be moved to Legacy, and then eventually later on down the road, they're doing a full refresh for the Gen 4 Cup cars.
Okay. I mean, I actually like racing ARCA. I like the link. I like the no caution. And I can stay in my skill level and not, restarts, man. Restarts piss me off because everybody wrecks each other in restarts. I can't. I hate sitting down in this seat right here to run like 5,000 hours of caution laps on iRacing, and that's the only bad thing about iRacing to me is caution laps. But so I'm also looking forward to that. We'll see. But yeah, dude, somebody surely is gonna be out there just hitting the cleater pack.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I was like trying to think about all the different things. Like somebody should just go through and make like an entire one, do a truck with the white trash. Like I said, you can get Neighbor, any Crown Vic he's ever run will probably have a wrap. The 30 Kinetic. I mean, he's run Talladega. I can't wait to see that wrap. I'm sure we'll talk about that. Talladega's not that far away.
No.
It shouldn't be. It's probably in April. So we'll be getting there. But anyways, I guess that's enough of the bullshit for the week. So checking on too, I guess we're going to hit the dirt first. I made that decision last week in your absence that we're pretty much going to do dirt, and then we're going to waste whatever time we got left on NASCAR because I don't know if you know, but there's like 5,000 NASCAR podcasts.
Yeah.
I can't even listen to them all. And I listen to podcasts on 1.5 or 2 times speed. And I just, like there's some I listen to. I listen to Dennis. I listen to Teardown. I listen to Junior. I listen to Door Bumper Clear. Pretty excited to see about theirs. This is just one like overall racing note. Did you see where Luke Baldwin absolutely got stuffed in the fence in the Smart Modified Tour race?
I did not see that.
Oh my! It was Dawson Cram who ran trucks.
I heard I saw a bunch of tweets about something about Dawson Cram.
So it was kind of like
clip or nothing.
It was kind of like what Amarola did to
Bowman,
which we'll talk about later. It was kind of like that, but like if you multiply the badness of that times 1,000, because he absolutely just ran him in the wall. And modified, you put that right front in the fence, it turns itself in the wall, and dude, jumped the car. Yeah. So I haven't got to listen to Door Bumper Clear yet. I try not to listen to many podcasts before we make our podcast because I don't want to be skewed. I just want to get my own BS. So, but yeah, that's a good one. If you find that video, I think it was on Flow. I think Smart's on Flow, so you probably want to look that up. It's pretty bad. And then he gave him the double bird, a real man would. He did go towards the car. I was curious if Smart was going to have to get on that this week. Going towards the car, it always scares me. It just does. But yeah, so that was a good one. Anyway, starting off on our dirt topics, we kind of had 2 races this weekend, basically. You had the comp cams at Boot Hill Speedway, which is in Louisiana. That was on Friday. I didn't watch it. I don't even know if it was on anything. If anything, I would guess, I don't know, comp cams.
Comp cams probably would have been on Flow.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like maybe they have their own service or something. But anyway, I didn't watch it on Friday night. I was busy, but Cade Dillard won. I said on here he'd be there. Ethan Dotson finished second. And Drake Troutman, I put in our notes, finished 22nd. The reason I put that in notes is them 2 SOBs came all the ways from like Monroe, Louisiana to I-75. That is a haul.
That's a long
for those of you that
drive.
Don't know. Like that I-59 too. Oh my gosh. You want to talk about some of the worst roads in America. I don't know exactly where Boot Hill is, but they're probably on 10 for a while. Then to 59. I mean, dude, it is so long. And they made it all the ways up there. and both of them ran like crap pretty much. I expected Dotson to be pretty good at I-75. That last time we went there, he was pretty solid, but he was slow, didn't even make the show. But yeah, congratulations to Cade Dillard on the win there. I'm assuming we will see him at the Smoky Mountain Speedway on Friday and Saturday.
As we don't get some of that,
Liquid sunshine. That's what we call it. We're good on Friday, looks like. But yeah, so looking forward to that, and that pretty much wraps up for that. I don't have a whole lot of other comments. Read through there, didn't see a whole lot of thing. One notable, Billy Moyer back out there, in a 21 car that looks like Davenport's old car. Do you remember when Rocket was teasing like a car that on Twitter at sometime December, January that looked like Davenport's car?
Like that, yeah.
I think that's who that was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. If somebody sees this, will tell me I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure that's what that was. But other than that, there wasn't a lot down there that we would know from around this area. So congratulations to Cade Dillard. And he is that a Category 5, I think?
It's
I don't even know what he's running.
Probably his own. I don't know if he builds. I know he builds modifieds.
Yeah, I don't remember what he's doing now, but good to see him get a win. Anyways, all right, moving on to the more important thing. Hunt the Front moved on up here to the Sweetwater, Tennessee. I'm sorry, Nyota, Tennessee on Saturday night for a 20,000 to win start season opener for their points. Had 44 cars show up. Not bad. There was not, a lot of these Lucas and World Outlaws guys are only running Lucas and World Outlaws.
Yeah.
And kept it there. But it was a pretty good field, top to bottom, I would say. Pretty solid. The usual suspects. Right before the race started, Owen signed with Hunt the Front. I'm assuming you've seen that.
Yeah.
I made it up there, dude. So we parked into here. I got a pit pass. I was going to run to the pits and hang out. And then I went over there and was going to buy some shit, but everything was from last year, so I didn't buy anything. Don't tell anybody. First time I told Daniel, that's the first time I've ever been on the front stretch at I-75. And I've been there I've probably been there 10 times, but I always just do tier parking and loop on up there to the left and park the truck and pee in the woods and never went over there. That tunnel, super cool.
Yeah.
Like you can walk through to the tunnel. I don't know. It's something cool about that. But it was packed. The grandstands were packed. Tier was packed. Pits were packed. I had to wait like 22 minutes from the time I pulled in the gate to the time I got to the pit gate to sign my life away and pay my money. So I barely made it. I went a little later watching the kid and stuff before I left. But it was a good night overall. Like I said, they had 44 cars. Owen signed on before post-race. The winner decided that he was going to join the HTF.
That too.
What a low blow. But yeah, so kind of getting into it. Ryan Gustin set fast time qualifying. No shock there. I figured he would be pretty quick. And then, it was just kind of the usuals around there, I guess. Cameron Marlar was quick.
Yep. He's always good there.
Brother Cam, is that what we're still calling him?
Yep.
I was kind of hoping he was going to win so we could at least get a Tidwell sighting. I did not see anything, but the service there is kind of weak because Brother Skyler, nephew or son or whatever, Skyler also won the crate. So,
yeah.
But we'll get to that. But Gustin sets fast time. They go out there, do their thing. Heat 1. Oh, Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Just kidding. They've been calling the Manitoba Missile, and, given our current relationship with Canada, I've decided that we're going to call them the Monterey Missile because I'm done with Canada, and I'm not going to call them Old Canada, hopefully, for the rest of the year. So I'm going to call him the Monterey Missile. He's from Monterey, Tennessee, for those of you who don't know. Essex and Ruben and whoever else might be listening, please correct yourself. We don't talk about Canada on here anymore. So Ricky Weiss wins the first heat. It was pretty straightforward. It's a track that, they practiced Friday night. You know what that means.
Yeah.
It was a little rubbered up. We'll get to that. They fixed it later.
Yeah.
So he does that. Cameron Marlar wins heat 2 in the 57 car. Here's the thing. This is the one interesting, kind of the most interesting thing for the entire heat. And I've tried to find the video, can't find it, so I have Hunt the Front subscription. But somehow Joyner absolutely just tore somebody up. I couldn't catch
Really?
the number because the angle they were at and where I was at, and on tier you don't have any announcing or whatever. But he wrecked somebody on the initial start going in turn one, just junked him. And couldn't get who it was, but they gave him the spot back. I was like, oh, okay, go to your own series, keep your spot. I see what we're doing here, Mr. Kubota boy. But
I'm sure we
other
can
than
see it
that,
in the YouTube video, whoever it
yeah.
was.
Well, I guess I should have looked at their YouTube video. It was 35 minutes long. So I don't know. But Hunt the Front is growing on me, and I guess part of it's because I was there. But we'll talk about that here in a minute, too. Ryan Gustin wins Heat 3 after setting fast time in Group B. Trey Mills, how old is he now?
Probably
14,
16,
15,
something like
16?
that. Yeah.
He's no older than 16.
Yeah.
He looked good, dude. He looked good.
Yeah, I saw the highlights, and he definitely looked really good.
Yeah, so they did, after that, those was your Heat winners. They all drew a pill after. Cameron Marler got the pole. Trey Mills got second. Gustin was fourth, and I guess Ricky was third. And yeah, I mean Trey Mills. When we get to the feature, he put the moves on there to start off with. So LCQ's Austin Smith wins. Ethan Dotson, like I said, missed the show. Mike Marler wins last chance qualifier number 2. Really surprised to see Mike Marler be slow that close to house.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
a little
that's the kind of
worrisome.
track. Yeah, I would expect him to be good at. He cut a lot of the gold off the wrap. When we were walking through the pits, I was like, "Oh my God, where'd all the gold go?" It's like white, black, and gold on the very top, so it doesn't look the same. And then Ross Bales in the AK race cars missed the show. I believe for the picks for last week that you weren't here, that you just got the opposite of me on. I had Bales versus Seawright because Ross had run pretty good there in the 79 car. So I thought maybe he'd do something. I was trying to pick guys that were running that. So unfortunately, he missed the show, so you got the L. So I'll pick Seawright. Congratulations to me. But yeah, so they get into the feature there. I felt like, okay, well, here, before we talk about the feature. Track prep.
Yeah, I seen the old X's that you posted there.
Yeah, I guess I was the only one. I don't know. So it's like, first of all, just remember this is time change Saturday going into Sunday, right? And it's like, it's my fault. I said to Daniel, I said, "Hey man, they're doing pretty damn good. We're gonna get out of here." It's like 8:54, and they're about to roll the feature, and I was like,
"Nope."
All right, and next thing I know, here comes a skid steer with whatever the Harley rake, whatever that thing is, with the little spinning tines on it.
Yep.
That barely does anything. Anyways, they pull it out there, and I saw some guys over there like in turn one. It almost looked like they were trying to pull something out of the track, so I thought maybe something had got down the track. There was a flat tire too, so I was thinking maybe they're getting something up, just going to rough it up right there, and it was going to be good. Nope. So they decided to do all 1 and 2, and I'm like, oh, okay, sweet. And so they finally bring a John Deere or whatever tractor out there with something else on it, and get to scratching up. I'm like, oh, shoot. So we're going to run the whole top of this end, and they went basically halfway down the track, dug it all up, watered it. When the water truck pulled out, the dudes next to us, they were in like, a Duramax or something like that. It was like 4 of them, and they pulled that water truck on the track, and they're like, pack it up, we're going home. None of this. And they're from like Dunlap. So, yeah. Anyways, they were gone, and I looked at Daniel, I was like, damn it. Not the water truck. I was like, no, maybe they're just bringing it out here to roll this in. Maybe that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So they get done down there in 1 and 2, and he drives the water truck down there and just sprays the dog piss out of it. And I was like, no! Oh, my God. It's 40 degrees. I didn't take the heater. I had it in the truck, took it out of the truck.
Oh, man.
I never got the propane bottle in the heater. I got that thick Carhartt now, so I was like, it'd be all right. So I was like, I don't need it. So, anyways, he parked that water truck down there like at the entrance to 3 on the outside of the track, and it was leaking, but it's leaking down the backside, so it didn't matter. And then he pulls it around when they get done and just soaked it. I was like, son of a bitch. And, yeah, so then I was like, well, we're just going to do that in. Nope. Here goes the skid steer and the tractor to the other end and start doing the same thing. And I was like, no. Then the Packer cars come out, and they like pack this. Now this is funny. It looked like the Chili Bowl. They were packing the one end of the track going to the infield, and that infield is rough.
Dude,
that drive-through, dude.
Yeah.
He was in a Ford Explorer, and that thing was like boom, 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 going to the infield.
Funny story about that. The first time I went down there, it was, I don't remember what race it was. I think it was like a Spring Nationals race or something. And I was sitting in the grandstands, and they do the call all the cars to the track to pack the track. They get it packed in, and they park a bunch of them in the infield for the next groups of hot laps.
Yeah.
The first group does their hot laps, and then the next group tries to go out, and I think they were street stocks. And this one street stock was stuck in the infield from where it was so junk. And
like
just
high-centered or something?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That
And
sounds
like
about
the,
right.
you know how the mud is there. It's just real chunky in the infield, and they don't pack it in or nothing. It's just loose crap. So they had to push it out with a truck, I think, is what they did or something.
Yeah. So where they had it parked, where they were parked was like on the little pave thing. It wasn't that wet, which is good. Obviously, it hadn't rained here in a while, but yeah, I don't know. It was, I don't know. So that was a joke. They ended up running it in. I think the thing started sometime around like 10:30. I mean, it was like an hour and a half. It was rough. That they did let the drivers watch track prep. I went ahead and gave the update. If you're not a part of Dirt Racing X, you don't understand the drama, but they did let them watch track prep there. It's not Ocala, so they could watch track prep there at the I-75. The water truck did almost spray him down, though. I mean, he did not care. Yes. They were on the, like they spray it from the outside there. They actually drive the truck around the outside and just spray it over the edge in. And, yeah, he about soaked him down twice. So, yeah, it worked out, but they got it. They got it. And I think overall it was probably better because the track was pretty well rubbered, and it was turned into kind of one line. The weird thing about I-75, and we were talking about this, you know how it almost runs backwards, like they run the top and they run down.
Yep.
And like kind of watching that throughout the night, qualifying hot laps, all that. It was just kind of interesting to point that out. And then they only worked up the top, and it worked out pretty good. I felt like it was pretty quick up there. It built a little bit of cushion. Some guys jumped it, missed it, and went over, including like Putnam and Corey. And it put some to the back. So, anyways, we get the feature. They started off, and it was pretty good. I believe it was Trey Mills jumped him pretty hard there for the lead, and he was pretty well going and off. They had a few cautions there. The second caution was like, I don't know, around lap, I don't even know what number, 6, 7. It was in the first 10. And I noticed that Dalton Wilson had really moved up, and Josh Putnam was really starting to look like he was making some ground too. He did not really make passes yet, but he was starting to build pretty good momentum off the corners, and I was like, here comes Josh Putnam. He's in a green car now, by the way.
Yeah, he's had
really
a green
weird
car for like
I know.
a year or something.
We were talking about, dude, I hadn't seen him race in a long time. Like, him racing dates back to the good old SRRS.
Oh, yeah.
Which,
I
don't
these
know if
days
you
he
remember
pretty
them,
much
but-
just runs hunt the front, though, and they hadn't super been around here that much. But
Well, we're going to talk about that, too. Do you remember the SRRS? They used to run at Boys when we used to go.
I think
it would be like,
I've probably been to like 1 or 2 races of them.
I mean, I'm talking like $2,500, $3,000
Yeah.
shows
Yeah.
back in the day, 2012. They probably shut down around 13 or 14. But yeah, we watched him race Riley and all that back then. So good to see him up there having a little run. Dalton Wilson and Ryan Gustin were going at it pretty good there around lap 15. And then it was somewhere around 15, 16. That was when Putnam was really starting to put moves on people, and then he kind of jumped the cushion down in 1 and 2. And after that, he just dropped like a rock. I don't know if he got scared and didn't want to get up there again, but he basically just pushed up over the top, and he got passed. And you know how it goes out there. That exit off, too. Like, you get passed, and you get passed, and you get passed some more. So that didn't work out for him. Then around lap 20, I noticed Corey started to look like he was doing pretty good. He started pretty slow. He started like 8th, I think, in the feature. Maybe even worse. He might have started 12th. He did start 12th. And he started working his way up there. By lap 25, he's up 5th. Made the pass, and I was like, oh, here comes Corey. He gets past for 4th around lap 30, and I'm like, he's going to get there because I felt like they were going to get in lap traffic. And they did, and that was when Ricky, about lap 30, ends up getting past the 14 of Trey Mills, basically in traffic. And Corey was still making that run, and then he immediately jumps the cushion. I was like, come on, bro. Like, he only
At the
lost
home
one
track.
spot. Yeah, he lost one spot. I think it was to Gustin. Got back past Gustin, and he made a good, strong run. If it had been another 15, 20 laps, he would have had a chance. But yeah, Ricky had her dialed in. Ricky gets the win at Clarksville last weekend, and then at I-75 this weekend. Old Monterey, not Mexico, has got it dialed in. And looking good. And so he wins the race, decides he's the points leader. You know what? I'm going to run this series now, all of a sudden. So,
see how long that lasts.
yeah, so Ricky Wiest signs on with Hunt the Front. I guess they do kind of that national tour kind of deal, kind of do the deposit and you're a partner or whatever. So we'll see. I think there's a good chance he'll do it because I think he has a good chance to win. I actually really think they're going to end up having a pretty competitive field, probably front to front. I do think some of those guys that are lower that had signed are honestly probably going to drop off because of the talent added at the top. Owens and even Ricky. I mean, he hasn't been on a national tour in a while, but you know he did run the national tour, so that works out good for them. The Best Plumbing BMF 604 series. I'm assuming that would interest you.
Yeah.
That's all our local guys. It was all of them up there. Tyler Price, Skylar Marler, Ross White.
I got to say one thing before
Yeah.
we go into this.
Yeah.
I saw pictures of the 07 machine.
Yeah.
That is a good-looking race car.
Well, you know the problem with that is when you bring a good-looking race car to the track, first time you usually junk it. So
Yep.
don't worry, he accomplished the mission.
Yep.
You know, Hayden was up there. It was all the normal crate guys, and it was a decent race. Tyler Price ran away with it to start with, pretty much. Corey did not run crates. I wasn't sure. I put it in the picks last week, so that was a scratch. Nobody got anything for that, by the way, but I just assumed he was going to run it. I guess maybe because BMF is sponsoring it, he's not doing it. I don't know that he's really raced a crate this year, so maybe he's just, nuts to butts going to run this Hunt the Front thing and some other super races, and just maybe he's made that decision to quit taking the easy money, and he's going to go big boy racing only. So and that's fine. Don't blame him. I think overall that series will end up being pretty competitive. Drew Kennedy came down and ran that. I would assume he's going to run it because I think they're racing at Wartburg. I like him as a driver. So I think for these Tennessee area people, I think that'll end up being a good series to watch if they come to your weekly track. So
I'm pretty sure I saw the old 148 machine on the entry list. Was he there? Oh, Booger Brooks.
The Booger Brooks.
Yeah.
He was running a 602.
Oh, that's what I saw.
Did get the win, just for the record. He
Shocker.
He was a hobby. It's probably still the same motor from 2010. But yeah, so he did run that and won. He also won at Clarksville, by the way. I don't know if you saw that last week. He won the 602 there. Brought it back, won again. He'll probably win every 602 race he races in, pretty much, unless somebody wrecks him. But which funny story about the 602 race? I left whenever the crate race was over. Me and Daniel were sitting back in my trailer, and I was like, "Well, guess that's it." And dude, I was pulling out, and I look, and they're rolling cars on the track. I forgot about 602 race. I usually stay, so I ended up just sitting in the truck and watching. And he pulled down. I saw his car, and he stopped at the gate for a minute, like at the back stretch, and he was gone after that. But I was like, damn, my bad, didn't mean to run you off. I didn't realize we have one more race left. I was just kind of tired and ready to go. So everybody else had pretty much left already. But so I ended up watching that in the truck, and that worked out nice. A little heat. It was a little chilly. So, but he got the win and that. But as far as that best plumbing thing, so kind of talk about that. Like I said, Tyler Price was leading. Then you had Skylar Marler and Hayden Cardwell closing hard in the lap traffic. And, Hayden was on the bottom. Tyler was in the middle. Skylar's on the outside. And I don't know exactly what happened because it was on the back stretch. You know how well you can see the back stretch with tier parking over there. But I do know that at the end of it, the 7 car was on the tractor tire getting towed. So
nice.
He pretty well junked her up there. He was probably, Skylar was pretty quick too, but he was pretty quick. He had caught both of them because Skylar Marler was running second, and he had run him down, and it was lap traffic, so you don't really know. But anyway, so after that they restart. Skylar Marler gets past Tyler Price, and they pretty much ran it 1-2 there to the end. Ross White coming in third. Not Anthony White, Ross White, just for the record, not DWB.
Yeah.
Which, this is a side note. I saw Longhorn is advertising with Dirty White Boy.
Really?
Now, yeah, I guess he's got a Longhorn and got, what is that, Longhorn Dynamics? Is that the shot company?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were had a review from Anthony White Jr., and I was like, oh, yeah, Longhorn advertising with Dirty White Boy.
Oh, yeah.
For those of you who don't know, that's Anthony White Jr. He's, I think, out of Clinton or something like that. But his, there was a time, I'm trying to remember what track it was at. Was it Boyd's, maybe, we were at? And the girlfriend and all them were sitting behind us, wife or whatever. And he got in. It was at 411. He got in it with Corey Hedgecock.
Oh, yeah. I remember, yeah.
And I thought it was going to be a fight in the stands behind us. Because they're like, what are y'all bitching and moaning about? Daddy's money this, Daddy's money that. Oh, yeah. It was,
I remember
that was a
that.
good night. But
that was a good one.
Yeah, ever since I hadn't liked him. He's got a nice rap, though, now. He's a 24 now. He got rid of that whole 0X with the pickaxes or whatever. So, but car looks good. But, yeah, I just thought that was hilarious. They didn't put Dirty White Boy when they were giving the quote. They put Anthony White Jr. Just wanted to let you know. I'm guessing he's Rose Harrison Warburg, but I don't know. So, yeah, overall, it was a pretty good show there at the I-75 Good Kickoff. It was a little, the Super Race. It wasn't the most passing I've seen. It was good. You could run the top and the bottom, and guys were pushing and went over the cushion a little bit. And clearly, these guys, you kind of forget after watching like Speed Weeks, Lucas and Word Outlaws, like they don't care to junk a race car.
Yeah.
These regional guys can't afford to do that.
Yeah.
Week one. So they have a lot more respect for each other, and didn't junk anything really. So. It was good to watch, but this is my question, kind of overall. Hunt the front there with Owens, Weiss. They had a pretty good. I was trying to see if I could find a list of everybody that was signed up with them. I think Trey Mills is running it. Dalton Cook.
Yeah.
Zach Mitchell. Like I said, Jimmy Owens, Jackson Heiss, Hedgecock, Michael Page, Sam Seawright. These are all guys that are going to run this, and on the national front, you may not know those names, but I think that'll be pretty competitive.
Yeah, that'll be a good series there.
So I think I was kind of talking crap about that to start the year.
Yeah.
And, I've kind of changed my mind a little bit on it. And, one thing I was thinking about is like Jimmy Owens jumps, and I'm like, man, Owens is just going to leave a national tour to go run. I mean, that kind of sucks. Like, I'm a pretty big Jimmy fan. I got the shirt on, by the way. And, I was like, man, see him pull off Lucas to go do that. But dude, I started thinking about it. Lucas just don't race in the Southeast anymore. Yeah. So I went and did a little digging today, a little show prep. It's hard for you to believe I would do show prep, but I actually did because I was thinking about this when I was driving for work today. I was thinking back 2012, like the first time I think I went to like a Lucas race at Dixie. And I pulled up the schedule. 2012, Lucas raced at Tazewell, Cherokee, with Volunteer Speedway, Dixie, and Rome. That is 6 races that I would consider the Southeast area, Tennessee area. Yeah. I did not count Florida for Speed Weeks or anything like that. I didn't look at all that. I just looked kind of in our region. This year, the only race is Smoky Mountain. Yeah. That's it. It is a 2-day show, but that's the only race for them in June. They don't really race. They also race on that schedule. There's a lot of racing in Virginia. They don't race in Virginia that much. The next closest would be like Florence. I'd put that more at the south of the Midwest, southeast of the Midwest region, though. So, given that, I think that's kind of how Hunt the Front might end up being like a decent tour. Yeah. Because they're going to pull all these regional drivers, and there are some good ones. They race at Why Not, Talladega, Livonia, Cherokee, Sugar Creek, that's in Georgia, Smoky Mountains, Waynesboro in Georgia, Lake Cumberland, Florence, Sonoa, Duck River. So, but basically, they're all these areas southeast, and decent races, man. If you pay $20,000 to win, like some of these guys probably can make better money doing that than going and starting a Lucas race and freaking. I mean, God, they're all over. But Eagle or out there in Minnesota or wherever they're going to. So just kind of interesting the shift out of the Southeast, I guess, for the national tours, both national tours, really.
And see, thinking about it, like, we've been watching these same guys race and the Iron Man series back in the day, and crates and all these other stuff, and it's like they've always been putting on good races, and it's like it really shows that these local guys can come out here and put on a really good show. And it's a really good series that, gives some of these lesser funded teams a chance to go out there and show everybody what they got and put on a show for the fans.
Yeah, and kind of like what you're talking about, up to this point, up until this year, Hunt the Front's really run Georgia, Florida, right, Mississippi.
Yeah.
This year they're really getting up into that Tennessee, even all the way up to Kentucky, South Carolina, Georgia. So they're getting the whole thing, which I guess I think is probably good for them overall, and I think it has a chance to lend them being a good series, because you might see some of these guys that in our area in particular that could drop off national tour, like a Mike Marler, which I don't know what he's doing. He might be running on the front at this point for all I know. And I think that it has potential to be a strong series.
Yeah.
Bad news for Hunt the Front is, like, unfortunately for them, like, there's a lot of talent in there. They're not going to go in and walk in and win their own series either.
Yeah.
At this point. So, I guess, like, after watching that, kind of looking at what their schedule versus the other national schedules, I'm almost borderline more interested myself in that, because, I like World Outlaws and all that, but they just don't race around here.
Yeah,
Can't go see them.
We get to see them once a year.
Yeah, and if there's rain next weekend, we lose that.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. For me, I can drive up to, it's not that far for me to go to Florence, but you really can't. But here it's for us. You get World Outlaws at Smoky, Lucas at Smoky, World Outlaws at they go to Talladega this year, I believe.
Yeah.
And other than that, Charlotte, like that's it. So, just kind of interesting thing there. The Dixie Rome thing sucks. That was a great weekend on Lucas' schedule. I know that those tracks have had some issues and shut down, but it's just crazy too. Like, you think about those tracks that I listed off: Tazewell, Cherokee, with Volunteer, Dixie Rome, and literally none of those have a national tour race this year. I don't think Cherokee has. They have Hunt the Front, but they didn't have. I don't think they have World Outlaws or Lucas this year, if I'm not mistaken. So.
We've lost, 2 tracks that had,
Yeah.
national touring series race. 411 had Flow. They had World Outlaws. They occasionally got a Lucas. And Boyd's, even at the very end of its lifespan, got a World Outlaws race that was great.
Yeah.
And they were really on the upswing, and then that's gone.
Thankfully, Bulls Gap Volunteer did get back that Flow race. But see, they got it, but they took it from 75, which kind of sucks. So, but I'm glad that race is going to be. That's that Bristol night weekend race on Thursday night.
That'll be a
good
race
deal.
right there.
Scott Blomqvist Memorial, probably be something to go to. I still want Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson both in that. I don't know how we make that happen, but if you can figure out the X campaign, help me out.
I'm sure Kyle Larson will probably be in a 6 machine that weekend.
He hasn't. He's kind of said he's taking a break, but like. It's for Scott Blomqvist, damn it.
Yeah.
Okay?
It's right across the road. Come on. Kevin will have a car there.
I don't know if you noticed, but Christopher Bell is absolutely on it.
Yeah.
Tear. We're going to talk about that more in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
So, just kind of an interesting thing. And, oh, no. Maybe I'll end up buying Hunt the Front. Don't tell anybody. Because I've been complaining about it so hard. I've got to figure out what all is included with that, and then maybe we'll talk about it. So, other than that, coming up this week, like I said, we're going to be at Smoky Mountain for World Outlaws Friday and Saturday, hoping for no rain. I'll say the word because it's either going to or it's not. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'm trying to give you an update. Are you planning on going?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'll be able to make Friday, but
yeah, you got to work. Daniel said he is probably just going to go Friday. It sounds like as of right now, it's showing 50% chance. Friday is 77 and sunny, low of 60. That is a race night if I've ever heard of one. So hopefully we'll get lucky and get both of them in. I told him last week, I was like, we got 3 races in 7 days in March, so good luck. It just kind of is what it is. But this is an update for you on next week's situation. So Logan might be going Friday, and I told the wife, I was like, I might take him first race. I'm not sure. I'm still mulling it over in my head. She's like, all right, I'm coming too. I was like,
whoa.
What?
Whoa.
She hasn't been to a dirt track. I was trying to think about this. The last time she went to a dirt track was
Probably was at Smoky Mountain.
it was
wasn't
at Smoky for World Outlaws. It was the first time I bought that 2i propane
Yep.
heater that I have, and it was the Tennessee tip-off. We sat on the front stretch grandstands, and she sat so close to it that she almost passed out from like CO poisoning.
Oh man.
Like literally is like she's balled up in front of it. But it's a great time. She went with me pretty much right after we moved up here, and so that was kind of a fun memory. But so we'll see if she goes, if Logan goes. We'll see. He's 2.5. I don't know. The only thing that's got me a little worried is we sit so close. Might be kind of loud. Maybe I-75 better because it's a little bit farther back off the track. But obviously I got the headphones and all that for him. So we'll see. Hopefully I have a good time. If not, he can sleep in. If I take him, I'll probably bring the Hummer. Let him sleep in the back. Make him a little pallet, something like that. But yeah, we'll see. So let me know what your plans are on that. And I guess if Rachel's coming, you just bring Riley. Might as well. I know that's what she wants to do on a Friday night. So they can paint their nails at the dirt track.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Anyways, other than that, next week we'll talk about the Lucas Oil late models as they fire back up. Tomic and Brownstown. I don't have it in those, but I'm pretty sure it's Tomic and Brownstown. So we'll be getting to that. We'll also probably try to give us a little points breakdown, kind of look forward on World Outlaws. That'll be first. This will be the first weekend out of Speed Week, so I'd like to get some picks in, see what you think. But it may not be next week because we're also going to do NASCAR after Vegas. That'll be 5 Cup races, so I think that's a good time for us to make our picks for them. So we'll see. We may only do one of those, so we don't have a super long episode, but we'll see. So other than that, you guys be sure to show up at the Smoky Mountain Speedway. You can buy your tickets ahead of time through worldoutlaws.com. I definitely recommend going. It's a great track to go to. They only have 2 sport classes both nights, and they're not paying a lot for any of them, so they probably won't be huge. So these should be pretty efficient shows overall. That's one thing I got to give World Outlaws credit for. I won't be watching at home. I'll be at the track, so usually I'm at the track. I wish they did a little bit more. But overall, their schedule, they've really got that concise down to like watch this on Dirt Vision in 2.5 hours and knock it out. Front runners, Friday.
Baby.
Street stocks, Friday, with the supers, and then they have limiteds and mini.
I'll take the 42 to win the street
stocks. It said
stocks.
mod mini, so it's either mini stocks or
Mod mini might be those little modified looking things.
It's one of the two. I'm not really sure what it is. It's one of those two on Saturday. So we'll see what happens there. If they have a pony stock, somebody's got one for sale for $3,000. I might bring it home, unless Rachel's there. We're not. But yes, we'll see how that goes. You guys join us for that. We'll be watching the races from Vegas there too. Anyways, all right, moving into the asphalt nonsense that nobody cares about at this track called Phoenix.
Hey,
ISM. What do they call that track now? I think it's back to Phoenix Raceway now.
Something like that.
I call it the worst track in NASCAR.
Now here, okay, we got to have a debate here.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I know this is making a comparison to iRacing, and real life is not the same, all right? But Phoenix is my favorite track for the Cup cars on iRacing. All my teammates this week were hating on me for loving Phoenix and the Cup cars. I love it. I think that dog leg is the best thing ever. I think more tracks should have stuff like that you can do. And I know a lot of people hate it, and I've seen tweets where people are like, oh, they should just put grass back in there so they can't do it. I think it creates more passing, and there's more opportunities for chaos, which is what they want. That's what they're trying to do with the tires and all the restarts at the end of the races and all the crap like that. So might as well just put a bulldozer nose on every car and let them run through each other.
Okay, so I'll give you this. I think I do like the dog leg. There's a couple things that you said there I do like. One, let me point this out. You said as a driver on iRacing. Here's the thing. A lot of drivers like Phoenix. There's a lot of racetracks that drivers like that fans don't like, just for the record.
Yeah.
A lot of times if a driver likes it, fans don't like it. But a lot of times that's because it's clean racing or you have to drive the track and you have to show skill, right? A lot of times we see that. So I can buy that on that. As far as the irregularities in the racetracks, I said it on here in regards to dirt when we were talking about Ocala, and I brought up Darlington's a great track that has 2 different ends. Weird shapes are good. Pocono. Iowa, Gateway. Weird shapes make good racetracks. I actually 100% agree with that. Give somebody an opportunity to do something weird, right? I like that. So yeah, I don't 100% hate Phoenix. I really don't. I hate these cars that have 0 horsepower more than anything.
Yeah.
I do think, the option tires that we'll discuss are kind of a step in the right direction, but they need. Well, we'll get there. Let's go through the race real quick. There's not a whole lot to talk about in the Cup race, so let me just kind of run through it here. Catherine Legg making the start on International Women's Weekend, wrecked on lap 4, wrecked again later. All right, that's done with that. Hate that for her. I really don't think it's her fault. I think she was in some really bad equipment with not a lot of time to get ready. So I've seen people being super negative about women driving on the internet. That's not fair. She was in BJ McLeod's car. They knew she was going to be in it 10 days before. BJ, I heard on a podcast today, the last 3 years his average being 7 laps down at the end of this race. Okay, so it is what it is. Sorry.
Yeah.
Joey Logano, stage 1 restart after that. There was another caution after that. Cliffs the line. They call him for the going below the line. He's like, I wasn't going to block anybody. Blah, 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 blah. There's the line. You touched it. Deal with it. Go to the back.
Yep.
Some people are like, oh, if this happened to Chase Elliott, they wouldn't have called it, blah, 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 blah. Damn right they would have, and he would have gone in the back, and I'd have said he should have gone in the back, and I said he's an idiot for touching it, so I don't want to hear it, okay? Penske, listen, I got some rants about Penske right now. Penske might have NASCAR more than Hendrick. You got the Hendrick hat on, and I got a Hendrick hat on. I'm telling you right now, they're the ones getting away with nonsense, just for the record. So, anyways, just going to talk about that.
They are.
So, anyways, they go. Priest ends up getting tires after that restart. Does the thing. It's absolute garbage. He passes the whole field because he's the only one on these tires. All right, cool. Nobody cares. Byron wins stage 1. Stage 2, they got a big wreck. Ty Gibbs decides to wreck half the field. They're 5 wide. I don't know if the spotter didn't call it. I have no idea. He pushes up.
Has Ty Gibbs finished a race this year?
Man, I don't know, but
honestly,
I actually
has
can't
he?
answer that question.
I don't know that he has.
He might have finished Coda, but not in one piece or on the lead lap. He really might not have.
I hate to say it, but
he finished 16th at Daytona.
Matt Collig might need to find him another driver. I mean, he's.
You're talking about Ty Dillon?
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about Ty Gibbs. Gibbs drives for Gibbs.
Did I not? Did I say Gibbs? I meant Dillon.
Oh yeah, Ty Dillon probably has not finished a race. No, is the answer to that.
I'm sorry. I thought I said Dillon.
No, we're talking about Ty Gibbs. Because he caused the big one there. But anyways, Ty Dillon also, probably not. I can't remember. Did he make it through Phoenix? We'll have to look at it in a minute. Anyways, neither of them can drive. Ty Gibbs is the worst driver at Gibbs, and it's not even close. And if he doesn't get it together, he's going to have to be looking at retirement because they also there's Toyota drivers in the pipeline that have to go somewhere. Corey Heim, William Swalich. I feel like there's another one in trucks and another one in Xfinity, and I can't think who. So I don't know if Ty Gibbs has it. He was in really good Xfinity cars. You've seen this out of people that were at JRM. Justin Allgaier even. Dominate. Can be really good in Xfinity. Just couldn't do it in Cup. Ty Gibbs might have that going on. We'll see. He hasn't quite hit the 100 race mark. He's on the way to it. We'll see what happens. But he has been terrible. Christopher Bell wins stage 2. At this point, I was firing up the grill, and I was like, okay, well, Bell's winning this race, so that sucks. Pretty much Bell did win the race. That's pretty much all you need to know from then on. So Christopher Bell ends up winning the race. Not that close. They had a restart, overtime restart. Larson did not go 3 wide on Bell and Hamlin, which I agree if he would have done it, he would have just junked them all. Yeah. I actually like trying to push Hamlin past Bell and then hope you get a shot at Hamlin in the last corner because Hamlin's car wasn't very good. So if you could have cleared Bell, you could have either made Bell have to move Hamlin or you could have also cleared Bell and then made a move on Hamlin. So I thought it was a good move. Didn't have a problem with it. It's nice to see the Cup guys not wreck each other at the end of a race.
Yeah.
For sure. So I did like that as well. Overall, the race was terrible. In my opinion. And this is where we're getting into the ugly part. All right, here's the deal about these option tires. This is my rant of the week. I love the red tires. Here's what I don't like. I don't like having 2 compounds. I don't like having 2 sets of them. This whole thing about Ryan Preece, dude, this is what I want to say about. If Ryan Preece didn't have freaking red tires on, would he have passed anybody?
No.
He passed the whole field and he got passed. And they make it like it's some great thing. No, it's not. It's like having extra horsepower in the car for a stage. It's pointless. So here's the deal. I want tires that wear. That's good. But put them all on it for the whole race and make them manage it. And let's get a long run and hope we can do something with it. Yeah. But that crap is not – this whole option tires, you had to save them for the end. Yeah. I know why everybody pretty much everybody saved them is because if there's a late caution, you don't have them, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So, like, you know, I don't want to see that kind of strategy. I'm okay with the 2 tires versus 4 tires. I'm okay with the 20-lap versus 40-lap tire strategy. But to say, you know, this tire versus that tire, no, I'm not about that. It's too much like Formula One. We're really getting off into this, like, this is not it's taken away from the drivers.
Yeah.
These cars, in my mind, already take away from the drivers by not having enough horsepower, having so much downforce, and, you know, all the things that come with it. You know, it's just not – it scares me because a lot of people are like, oh, this is such an exciting race. The only thing that you saw exciting was Ryan Preece drive through the field on red tires and Ty Dillon drive through the field on red tires. And guess what? They couldn't do it. It's just like having horsepower. It's like if you're in a Formula One race and your DRS is engaged the entire race.
Yeah.
If you can't – I mean, me and you could have passed them. I'm just saying, right? Like, and I can't drive. So – I'm just not a fan of it. I am a fan of the tires, but just run all of them. Make them all red. And if you want to have 2 compounds that we're picking from week to week, like, I'm okay with that. Even in Formula One, they do that. They have, you know, one weekend to be like, I think they have 5 tires in Formula One or something like that. And depending on what track they go to and how abrasive it is, you might have the soft and the medium or the hard and the medium or whatever. That's fine. But NASCAR, rain tire, 1 tire. That's it. Nothing else. Yeah. Don't tell them when they can put them on. Don't tell them they can't put them on. And you got to give them the same amount of all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, they should be able to run the whole race on those tires if they want to. That's my opinion. I don't like this strategy thing about tires. I don't want to hear we're saving money by not selling them tires. Don't care. It's NASCAR. They're not saving money on tires.
Yeah.
They're not saving money on anything. Spend the money, race the cars. That's what we want to see. They're dumbing the sport down, I guess that's my thing. Like, and people are like, well, we do this in short track racing. Modifieds only give them 1 tire a race, and they can put it wherever they want. Well, this isn't modified racing. Sorry.
Yeah.
They're all racing to get to this. This should be better than that.
Yeah.
Minor League Baseball, we only have, 2 umpires? Major League Baseball, we got more umpires, right? Like, yeah. I don't know. Like, it's just, this is supposed to be up here, not down here, so let's race up here. That's all I got on that, I guess. Interesting, McDowell had tire issues. They were fast in qualifying. All the Spire cars were. Yeah. And then he had right rear issues. Given the rear ends of these cars, I would assume that's probably a camber issue. Probably wearing them out. Yeah. You know, obviously they've had Rodney Childers go over there working on the 7 car. And, you know, he's not working on McDowell's car. But they found some speed, but they also found some tire issues there. And I would imagine that on his car he had something going on with that. Toyota, you had Bubba and Ty Gibbs both blow brake rotors. That's a big deal going forward. So you got to imagine that's if it being 2 Toyotas, nobody else really having any issues. You got to imagine that's some kind of issue.
Yeah.
That
I hope they got that fixed for Martinsville.
Yeah, I would assume that's a brake bias issue. The Toyotas were fast though. I mean, Bell and Hamlin are both fast. So definitely curious to kind of see what that looks like going forwards. Christopher Bell, what's your opinion on the option tires? Do you want to have 2 tires in one race, or you just want to run softer tires?
I don't mind having 2 tires, but my general consensus is the tires need to wear out way more, like exponentially more.
Yeah.
I mean, they just don't wear like it. Yeah.
So
I want to see like not every race needs to be as bad as that Bristol race, but like it needs to be closer to that. Like, there needs to be fall off. Like,
I didn't have a problem with the Bristol race because they were running 60, 80 laps.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I remember I think the record for the most cautions at Bristol was in 2008, 2009. They had like 22 cautions. They probably went through 18 sets of tires.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't care. It's NASCAR Cup Series. Like I said, I'm not worried about the price. Now, here's the one thing I'll say. So I think you're right on tire wear. Here's my problem with the option tires, and I didn't get to this because I was just ranting. But this is my real issue with it, and I heard this on the teardown. They mentioned something similar, and they're like, "Would you be okay with that race being the championship race?" and I am not, and here's why. If let's just say some idiot from the back says, "Hey, I'm gonna go get some TV sponsor time. I'm gonna put reds on when nobody else does." Drives up through there, and you have a Ty Dillon who, no offense, Ty Dillon can't drive. Goes up there. Let's say he wrecks one of your Final Four guys.
Yeah, I mean,
because he's up there on some gimmicky ass tires, not because he drove up there, because he's up there on tires. You have changed the race.
Yeah,
you've changed the point series, and I'm
changed
not
the
okay
champion.
with that.
I mean,
And so here, this is my question: if you're not okay with that in your championship race, why are you okay with that in any race? Because this race affects the championship.
Yeah.
If somebody misses the playoffs by 1 point because something happens in this race or something happens at Richmond, they try the scrap again. I want the rules to be the same week to week to week to week. I didn't like when we did no cautions at. I had said the same thing last year when they did no cautions at the road courses for the stages. I know they were trying something different. They wanted to avoid the yellow time, but the rules have to be the same every week.
Yeah.
In the NFL, we don't have 12-minute quarters one week, 15 the next, and 8 the one after that. In the NBA, you don't play, 6 fouls, you're out in the NBA, right?
Yeah.
Like, we don't change these rules. These are rules that don't change. The length between the bases doesn't change in baseball, right? Like, it's stupid. So the rules need to be the same every week. That's my opinion on that.
Yeah.
So it just takes away, and when you're already dealing with issues of older fans, for lack of a better term, I try not to join that club, but this is pushing me to join that club of, like, we're making this gimmicky. This is gimmicky, in my opinion. Yeah. And, if you take those reds out of the race yesterday, that the guys put on the first 2 stages are garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, and even the end,
100%.
because everybody's on the reds at the end, right? Like, you're either on the reds or you're going to the back.
Yeah.
So, like, it really doesn't do anything. It just kind of ups the speed for the whole field. So, just my opinion, though. Michael McDowell with that camber did set fast lap time. Got the extra point. Just wanted to point that out. So that was interesting. I guess that's about all I got on the Cup race. Overall, I vote no on was it a good race. Did vote no. I hope more people vote with me because I don't want to see this on a week-to-week basis. If you guys give this positive reviews, NASCAR will listen because they want this. I don't.
Yeah.
So please go to Jeff Gluck's Twitter and hit no. I mean X. All right. Xfinity race. Didn't watch it. We were at the dirt track when it ended. Did pull it up on my phone. And me and Watkins watched it, and
Arik gave the old door.
We got to see it. So that's pretty much all there is. So Amarola Bowman, overtime restart. Amarola runs him up the wall, passes him, wins the race. What's your take?
I mean,
yay or nay?
I don't know, okay? Man. You got to go for the win. I gave him a door too. I can't blame him.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I get Alex being like, I thought he'd at least leave me a lane. That's probably what I'd say too. But Alex, next time, just slow down, get under him, and run through him if you want to win the race. Eric wanted to win the race.
Yeah.
I pulled up some random stats down here. I don't know if you see them in the notes. Eric Amarola, I think he had an extremely disappointing Cup Series career. Overall, he started 460 races with 3 wins. He was a good plate racer. I actually think he's a better driver than he got credit for. He was at Stewart-Haas in a time when Stewart-Haas was really down.
Yeah.
He was with Richard Petty. They were pretty terrible at that point in time. I mean, it's unfortunate. That's just the truth. He's never really had good equipment. He comes back to Gibbs to run Xfinity, which is where he started at with Gibbs. He ran that 20 car and stuff. Kind of split time with Hamlin back in Hamlin's, coming through days, and did a great job in that. And, I think he has like 7 Xfinity wins now. But Eric Amarola gets his chance to race Alex Bowman, who's a Cup driver, who's probably a C Cup driver, right? I mean, that's just the honest truth. He's probably a C Cup driver, maybe a B.
Maybe.
I think so if he wasn't in Hendrick equipment, he'd be a B. I mean, a C. So that's why I call him a C driver. I could really get people fired up because I'm a Chase Sexual, and I would say that he's a B driver. So, anyways, Eric Amarola, I mean, he runs through him for the win. He wanted it more than Bowman did, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you saw? That's what I saw. I didn't have a problem with it.
Racing's
he
racing.
Didn't turn him. He didn't wreck him. He could win or not. And, I was disappointed because I was pulling for Bowman, obviously, in the Hendrick car.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I think it was dirty. And I guess, like, if you pick your favorite driver, if I pick Larson or I pick Chase or, whoever, and they're on the inside and they don't put him in the wall and win the race, I'd be pretty pissed. So, Bowman, sometimes you just got to drive a little better than that, be a little more defensive. Bowman could have crowded him down. He could have hit him way before they got to the wall, too. He could have really cut his exit off and maybe shortened him up. And, I don't know. But it sucks. I thought it was clean. I didn't have a problem with it. Big time deal for Amarola. This is about as much as he's ever going to do. The good news for Bowman is he gets to go back and race the Cup Series at Vegas next week, and probably pretty good. He races pretty good there. So I did think that was interesting to point out that Amarola, 460 Cup starts. That's a pretty good number.
Yeah.
There are a lot of guys that don't get to that. And he had 3 wins, and I want to say they're all plate races, except for maybe one fuel mileage win.
Didn't he win at, like, New Hampshire or something?
Yeah, but wasn't that like a fuel mileage or something? So, yeah, I don't know. But anyways, that's why he won. He wanted it more. Congratulations to him. I do think, the burnout and all that was a little excessive after wrecking somebody. This is just my little side rant. Young Life, I think, was the sponsor. That is a church organization, and it is a little bit of a bad look when you wreck somebody for the win and then go party with that for your sponsor. So I find a little comedy in that. I don't really know why they're sponsoring him anyways. I don't think Eric is necessarily the greatest guy. It's pretty well known that he got suspended at Gibbs for saying some racist things about Bubba. So I'm a little surprised he's still racing there, but clearly he's still got an Xfinity car, so it works out for him. But yeah, so congratulations to him on the win. I didn't have a problem with it. Y'all need to get over it if you did. All right. We really have sped it up here. All right, we're doing all right. All 3 NASCAR series going to Vegas this week. Also, High Limit's going to Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Thursday night. They're racing Thursday and Saturday at the Las Vegas Bullring Dirt Track.
Larson versus Bell race right there.
And they are both racing Saturday night and Thursday night.
Oh, baby.
And I respect both of them to be contenders on Sunday. And I think that's fantastic. I've told you all year this is what I'm looking forward to.
I watched them go push shopping carts in a circle. I mean,
do I need to go like topless to try to make a video to get them, at Bulls Gap? Or
maybe.
What do we need to do? So obviously Rumley for Larson. So what team do we need to go after to get Christopher Bell?
Man.
Bobby Pierce? Wait, hold on.
No.
Listen. Hear me out.
Toyota. That's right.
Toyota. Vic Hill Power is right there in Moshheim. That's who Bobby uses for motors.
Yep.
All right. So Vic Hill, Bobby Pierce, 32. We can run it in a. What should we put? We're not going to put a 32 on it. Probably just 69K is the sprint car number. We're not doing that. 23. I think just do like an inverse of Bobby Pierce's number.
Or they could. You could just put his damn NASCAR number on there. That's what they did when Byron drove the car. Drove that Warrior car.
No, we don't want him to look like that. And I'll tell you right now, Bell will be better than
I'd hope so.
Byron was.
Byron was terrible.
Listen,
no offense to William Byron, but he was terrible in that late model.
Here's the if I'm not a Toyota guy, so I'm not really a Bell guy. Let's talk about Bell for a minute though, because I think it could all go away and really not be appreciated. But Christopher Bell, 3 Cup races in a row. That is a big deal in the next gen era.
Yeah.
You let him get back in dirt cars. He goes and runs the Chili Bowl. He runs the Tulsa Shootout. He runs some other sprint cars. He runs Volusia, wins Volusia. Comes out of that, runs good at Daytona. I guess he got wrecked.
Yeah.
Goes to Atlanta, runs good, wins. Wins again at Coda.
Won at all 3 different types of tracks.
Yeah, he's won at literally all 3 of them now. And going to Vegas, probably going to be top 5. Got to be the favorite, honestly.
Yeah.
So, I'm telling you, some of these guys need to race. Christopher Bell is a different person. He doesn't look scared. He looks scared. And I think by giving him the freedom to run the dirt, he's just like on top of the world, dominant. He don't care. He's got that swagger. It's kind of scary. He's got the Kyle Busch. He's got the Kyle Larson look. He's got the, hey, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and I don't care what you think about it. And that should be scary. Dennis Hamlin is probably going to retire at the end of this year. That's my bold prediction. 4 weeks in.
Thank
Denny
God.
Hamlin, listen. Let me give you the
About
whole
time.
thing. And this we'll have to clip this short. And Denny might, if he were to see it, he would be like, "Oh, this guy's crazy." Here's the deal. This is why Denny is going to retire at the end of 2025. He's not going to win a race. He's not going to have a full-time sponsor. He's not going to be the best car at Gibbs. In fact,
he's not the best.
He's going to be the third-place car at Gibbs at the end of the year. I think
he's already the third place.
I think it's going to be he's better than Briscoe result wise right now. So I'm going to say Bell, Briscoe, Hamlin, and Ty Gibbs. That's your pecking order essentially right now. Joe Gibbs is going to want to distance himself from Denny Hamlin because of this nonsense with them suing NASCAR, and that's getting ugly. This whole thing about suing Curtis Polk and all that is ugly. Not what Dennis needs to be a part of for his life. So I really think, like, Denny, I think he's going to retire. He said on his podcast, if he can't compete, he won't. And for him to sit there, I know he finished second or third or whatever this week to Bell. But if he can't figure out how to get it done, which he could, because he could listen to some nonsense like this or somebody else talking on the internet and go, if Bell's going to run good, I have to beat him. And that might get him back in the saddle for a minute. But I'm telling you, if he don't get a win, he's done. Because this will be it. And it's kind of sad, but kind of not, because I don't really like him. Like his podcast, hate him as a driver. Sorry, Denny. Respect the owner thing. Respect him as a driver. Just still hate him.
Yeah.
Always will. But yeah, so that's my prediction. Denny Hamlin retires at the end of the 25 season.
That's a bold
I guess
one.
I should. Yeah, we'll see what happens when we post that live on the internet. But yep, we got it here. So that's my pick now. We're gonna do our picks next week after Vegas. So kind of do your homework as the weekend goes. I need your top 4 for trucks, Xfinity, and Cup, all of them. All right.
Okay.
And we'll go over that at the end of the show next week. Kind of make our picks for that. All right, moving on. Picks from last week. You were not here, so I made them for you. Pick 1 was Bales versus Seawright. Ross Bales missed so same. Seawright finished 18th, 16th, something like that. He's doing that team thing with Page. Page ended up having to run a 16 car. It was messing with me because I guess Page's car, he had to go to the backup. The backup was a 16. They taped like an X at the end of the 16. It was 16X. It was weird. Corey Hedgecock versus the field in the 604 class. Corey Hedgecock didn't race, so this is a completely void push bet. So nobody gets to win there. Penske pole at Phoenix. I picked no. You got a yes. No, it was not. The whole sitter was William Byron. Xfinity race. Harrison Burton versus Jeb Burton. I picked Jeb Burton, and Daddy Jeb got the win for me. How about that? Wouldn't have picked that. Cup. Logano versus Blaney. I picked Blaney. He blew up. Otherwise, he'd have beat Logano, just for the record. So, yeah, I did win that one. I now have 3 weeks to 1 week. So you better figure something out this week.
Yeah.
All right. Our picks are going to be World Outlaws, Trucks, Xfinity, Cup, and then another Cup pick. In case you can't tell who I'm going to pick on that 5th one, I guess I just told you a minute ago. World Outlaws, Tanner English versus Dalton Wilson.
Dalton Wilson.
Okay. Sounds good.
He's been good this year. He's been better than he's not super great, but I think he's been doing better than he has been this year, and I think he'll be maybe get a couple, maybe at least one national win. I think he's got a chance.
Yeah. So obviously this is a 2-day show, so it's just better finish between the two, like it was at Bush or whatever. I'm gonna go with English. English has run pretty good there. Took the week off to get ready for it. Dalton Wilson has been quick and will probably win, but I'm just not gonna agree with you. So I'm gonna go with Tanner English. Also, them Coltman Farms cars are growing on me, so we'll see what he's got. Truck Series, Corey Heim versus Tanner Gray. No pressure.
I'm going to take Heim. It's Heim
All
time,
right.
baby.
I'm going to go with Heim as well, so I guess we'll both get that one right, which will probably work out for us. Next up, in the Xfinity Series, Brandon Jones versus Justin Allgaier, teammates, not teammates. Brandon Jones, I just want to point this out. At the end of the Xfinity race, when I was watching there, I saw that yellow car up at the front, and I was like, what the hell is he doing up there? That's weird. He finished 3rd, behind, essentially a Cup Series driver and essentially another Cup Series driver. So just remember that.
I'm going to take the B. Jones.
All right, I'm going to take the 7. I wanted to talk about Allgaier earlier while I'm typing this in. I'll just bring this up. I hate this for Justin, but he is a choker. I hate to say it, but if he didn't choke, he'd have 5 Xfinity championships and a Cup ride. It's just man, he had that restart. He was up there in the lead, and he just overdrove the corner and choked it. And I hate that for Justin. He gets nervous. Whenever he just dominates, he's good. But in those high-pressure situations, unfortunately, some guys have it and some don't. And I hate it for him. And it's nothing against him. I love him. I think he's a great driver. But the pressure gets to him. He's just one of them guys. I hate that for him. Cup. This is an interesting matchup. Kyle Busch versus Chris Buescher.
So here's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
On Sunday, at Las Vegas, the hometown hero of Kyle Busch, is going to end his losing streak and win at the hometown track. You can mark it down, put the money in the bet book right now, bet the farm. It's a lock.
So you think,
it's a lock.
Man. I'm going to take him over Chris Buescher, but I am not going to take him to win the race. I'm going to look it up here in a minute and see what the odds are on that. Hamlin versus Bell.
I think I'll take Bell.
Okay.
I don't think you can pick against Bell.
I'm also taking Bell. So we got a lot of the similar picks here this week. It is what it is. So here's the thing. The reason I put Bell and Hamlin is it is hard. Winning 4 in a row. If he wins 4 in a row, he's going to reel off 10. Sad thing is, given this format, he could do that and it not matter. But anyways, all right, here's what I was going to say about – I was going to look up that Busch thing while we were at it. I wish I could do a future on here on DraftKings for Dennis to retire. Too bad that's not an option. In case y'all didn't hear it, Denny Hamlin is going to retire. YouTube, whenever you post this, be sure you post that in the comments. I'll probably make that the title of the episode. It'll be fine. We're about to get more views than we ever got.
Oh, man.
Obviously, he may not. But my bets this weekend. Let me give you my. I took Chase head-to-head over Kyle Larson. That was a terrible decision.
Yep.
I took Josh Berry for a top 10. $10 paid $25. I took Carson Hocevar for a winner. He didn't win. No. Byron for a winner, and Logano, and they all let me down. So that's just unfortunate. It is what it is. The Berry thing I thought was a lock. Larson, he's just like backup crew chief. I expect him to wreck, honestly. And I was like, I'm going to go ahead and take Chase over that because that's like guaranteed money. And then it wasn't, so that sucked. Cup Series Championship. I don't want the Cup Series Championship. I'm telling you, dude. Like, some of these guys. Josh Berry is going to be a surprise here. They don't have the race
available.
They only have futures available right now. Sorry. We'll see what Kyle Busch's odds are. If that's probably a pretty good paying bet. But I would just want to point out, I'm impressed with Josh Berry. He was the best Penske car, probably. Well, if Logano didn't get that penalty, I don't know where he would have ended up at. Blaney blew up. He kind of had motor issues all day, but Josh Berry has been a surprise to me. I think I might even said like he was going to be underwhelming for the year. So, congratulations to him on not sucking it up. You also have I bought tickets for Indy this week.
I heard
they are purchased.
I heard
we're sitting on the front stretch, paddock, section 15, row BB.
Nice.
Here's a cool thing about Indy I learned this week, and during purchasing these tickets, you probably already heard this too.
Yep.
You get paper tickets. That's awesome. So I got real sketched out after I spent, $770 for 2 tickets. I was like, okay, I feel like it's weird it says they're going to FedEx these tickets. That scares me because I couldn't tell you last time I had a paper ticket for anything, and it really scared me pretty good. But so apparently they do this at Indy, and like based off what ticket you get different color envelopes. You bought it for X amount of years, you get a blue, gold, silver, whatever. So I think that's really cool. I'm excited to have it and looking forward to it a lot for sure. Dad said he is not eating Skyline chili when we're in Cincinnati for the ball game on Saturday.
That's shocker.
I was like, maybe we should try it. He's like, no. I said, okay, well, whatever. So yeah, all right. Here's the deal for the weekend. Truck Series is on Friday night, I believe. I'm trying to pull it up. Friday night, Las Vegas. EcoSafe 200.
This is one of my favorite truck races of the years to watch.
I agree. This is usually a high-speed truck race.
Yeah, this is a really good one to watch.
I also, this is one of those, this in Texas, me and Dan used to watch every single time. So that's on FS1. Xfinity race is on Saturday at the Luani. It doesn't even say how long it is. It's a 300-mile race, 200 laps. Saturday, 4:30 p.m. Eastern. And the Cup race is, I'm assuming, a 3:30 start on FS1. 400 lapper. 400 mile, I mean. So I guess I'm glad for that. I was going to also give you the high limit racing times because I was really thinking I was going to watch that. Dude, I bet they're going to be late as hell because it's in Vegas.
Probably.
March 13th on Thursday, details. It says racing starts at 6:30 local time. Should be 9:30 our time. Good thing I don't have anything to do on Friday other than work. And I can sleep through that anyways. Same thing on Saturday. I probably will be watching, and I hope that Bell and them do that. I was looking for entry list for the Xfinity. This would be a super badass race to also have Bell and Larson somehow in the Xfinity race. I feel like that Hendrick car is in the race. The 17 is in the race. I just can't remember who's driving it. It might be Larson. I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens. So, other than that, you got anything people need to watch this week that we haven't covered?
Not that I know of.
Okay, I guess we got about done. When does the Flow Racing Series start? May. Okay, I just want to be sure we didn't miss that. So, y'all be sure to watch some dirt this weekend. Word Outlaws. If you were anywhere in the Southeast, come to Smoky Mountain Speedway. Great facility. Brick Mill Road. Nicest bathrooms you'll find at a dirt track. They'll have some. Hey, listen.
You can get some fresh fried pork skins that'll change your life.
I'm glad you said it because I was about to. If a man walks up to you and says, "You want to buy some fresh fried pork skins?" You say, "Yes,
you
sir."
better buy
2
them.
bags, $20, 2 bags. Bring cash. Okay, they're delicious. They do take card. The kettle corn
is also good.
Recommend the kettle corn. Can buy beer there. You can't do that at a lot of tracks down here. So that's back there. Don't go to tier parking because we're going to be there, and I don't want to get there at 9 o'clock in the morning to get a spot. So y'all go sit in the stands and get you a pit pass if you want to or not. I don't really care. Other than that, it's a great time. Is there anything else we need to give the locals or the non-locals about going there?
Not that I know of. Don't try to cut the field and get your truck stuck.
Oh, yeah, if you're leaving from the grandstand area, there's like a 200-acre field that you're going to see some idiot in an F-250 with some 37s think he can get through this field.
And
there's a ditch in the bottom of it, for one. For two, it's pretty dry, but you're going through somebody's yard that's going to make them upset, and you might get stuck. We have seen it multiple times, and there was one time they knew it was going to happen, and the tow trucks were already sitting there waiting, so... Don't speed on 321.
They will absolutely
get you. Pull you over for that too. If you spend the night in Maryville, go get you some donuts at Richie Cream, best donuts in Knoxville. So that's your local notes from me, Casper, the host, JP, the man. I guess we are out. You got anything to say before I play this button if I can find it?
No, nothing much.
All right, week 13. I guess it's time to go. I'm going to race some more, maybe. Probably not. I want to. When is my subscription up?
I don't know.
I better make sure it doesn't auto-bill on your card.
No, I didn't set it up for auto-bill.
Okay, that's good. That's good. All right. See y'all. We out of here. Hammer down. Thank y'all for listening to the Caution Flag Contemplations podcast. Our theme music is Hard as Steel by Alex Productions. Thank you all for listening. Hammering down. Find a good race to watch. We'll see you next time.